Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, Raised by Religion, My Exodus to Freedom. This first episode is called One, which is the music that you just heard, One by U2. Go listen to it. It's great. It kind of describes what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about one of the main doctrines of the Church of Christ that kind of separates them from the rest of the denominations. First of all, they do not consider themselves a denomination. Why? Because they believe that they are the one true church, that there is no other church that's going to heaven. Now, will they come out and say that? No, they won't. However, that is something that they will eventually teach you if they ever try to convert you. Now, if you were raised in the Church of Christ, like I was, then it's taught from a very young age that this is the one true church, and everyone else in all these denominations are going to hell. They are lost. Now, this particular doctrine is very isolating. And another thing that they promote in the church is evangelism. And meaning that, you tell your friends about the one true church, your friends that aren't a member of the one true church, you go and tell them about it. They also like to call themselves the Lord's church because, none of the other churches are the Lord's church. So anyway, back to the point of the one church and how that doctrine is so isolating. I'm going to tell you a story from when I was in first grade. Okay, this is how young they start. When I was in first grade, I had my first debate with a friend of mine, and it was at the lunch table. We were at lunch, and I'm going to introduce you to something else that the Church of Christ teaches. They do not celebrate Christmas as Jesus' birthday. Why? Because we don't know when Jesus was born. It's not authorized in the New Testament. They love to use that. But you can celebrate, Santa Claus and leave milk and cookies, and, you can put up a tree, but don't put up a tree in the church building. No, we don't do that. Sorry, I know I'm being sarcastic, but anyway, so you can't celebrate it as Jesus' birthday. That's just a very big no-no. And in first grade, I already knew this, and I already knew, or I had already been taught that all these other people that celebrated Christmas as Jesus' birthday were sinning and were going to hell. So I remember sitting at the lunch table, and I don't remember, it's been so long ago. I'm 43, by the way. It has been so long ago, but I don't know how it came up, but I do remember telling my friend at the lunch table that, we don't know that Jesus was born on December 25th, and it's wrong to celebrate, Christmas as Jesus' birthday. And it upset my friend so badly that I remember her raising her hand and telling Miss Wall, was my teacher's name, and Miss Wall, Karen is saying that, Christmas isn't Jesus' birthday. And Miss Wall comes over there and she says, Karen, you know better. It was kind of strange the way she said it, but I kind of got in trouble, not big trouble for it. But even at that age in first grade, I was already taught these things, and we don't celebrate Christmas as Jesus' birthday, which is, as you probably are already thinking, is really backwards compared to mainstream Christianity, because mainstream Christianity wants to take the focus off of Santa off of presents and the commercialism and all of that, and they want to focus on Jesus's birth. So, and the Church of Christ they do have a lot of backwards doctrines that just, and the longer that I'm out of it, the more I look back and go, wow, well, that's kind of insane. So, going back to the one true church and how it isolated me, and it isolates other people in the church. But this is just my experience. I always felt pressure, right, to convert my friends to this religion. And I did have a few friends that I ended up converting, but it never lasts long, because most people outside of the church, when they come and visit, they're very put off by it, and for good reason. I remember specifically, I remember a boy that I was dating, and I'm trying to remember how old I was. I want to say I was 7th grade, maybe. And I had invited him to church, and I remember, the Church of Christ does the Lord's Supper or communion every Sunday, and I remember trying to talk to him. And anyway, we were in church, and he asked a lot of questions. And by the way, they don't like for you to ask questions. But he would be like, what's this? What's that? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And I was so embarrassed, which I look back and I think that's just horrible. But anyway, so, if you think about it, if you were taught that the only people going to heaven is the church that you're going to, those people that are members of that church, then you can understand why the isolation. I had friends, but I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't that I was encouraged not to have friends out of the church, but I was encouraged to convert those friends. But, there was always that wall up, because I looked at them, and I was taught to look at these people outside of the church as sinners. And I looked at them as people who were going to be lost if I didn't teach them about the one true church and I didn't convert them. So, like I said before, that was very isolating. And, when you get to your adolescent age in your life, that can be very traumatic, because you feel very alone. You don't feel like you really have anybody to talk to, because no one understands, and you can't get that close to them. So that's how it affected me growing up. So I'm going to keep this episode short. I'm going it's almost 10 minutes. I'm going to try to keep my episodes between 10 and 20 minutes. So I really appreciate you listening. Just to give you a little bit of background, I should have done this at the beginning, but I was born and raised Church of Christ, and I did end up leaving about three or so years ago. I had been contemplating leaving. I guess it was about 2015, but I didn't really stop going till I think it was 2018-ish. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I look forward to recording my next episode. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And again, thank you for listening.